The Spanish Grand Prix was always going to be dramatic, and that proved to be exactly the case. The fast terrain, the spectacular jumps, the steep climbs and drops all played their part in yet another brilliant Grand Prix. Add to that qualifying disasters for Daniel Willemsen and Marvin van Leeuwen, which put them both at the back row, and you had an interesting cocktail. But 30 minutes plus 2 laps is a very long time, and you don't get to be world champion by doing crazy things. In race 1, it was Valentin Giraud and Andres Haller who flew off the line to establish a lead they were never to relinquish. Chased all the way by Etienne Bax and Casper Stupelis, the French-German pairing were really on form. This sort of hard, fast going was exactly the type of track Giraud loves, and it showed. Stuart Brown and Josh Chamberlain slotted into third, and despite all the best efforts of Kurt Varrick early in the race and Kern Hermans later on, they were to stay third, matching their result here from last year. Marvin van Leeuwen and Ben van den Bogart were quickly up to 8th place, eventually to finish 6th. Not bad from the back row. Daniel Willemsen and Luc Rostang were also working through, but 10th place was the furthest they could progress in the fast conditions. Casualties with mechanical problems included Julian Veldman and Arno Dierkens, the latter retiring with a smoking and slowing engine, whilst Veldman's Mega was also in trouble. There was no mistaking the winner though. Valentin Giraud had showed his worth with his new engine and new passenger, but it was bad news for the Latvian-Estonian duo of Varrick and Dieders. Despite a great ride to 5th, they failed the post-race noise control and were penalised 5 positions to 10th, moving everyone behind them up a place, including Van Leeuwen. Race 2, and nothing could have prepared the spectators for what they were about to witness. This was a display of top-class racing from Sanders, Giraud, Dierkens and Bax. In fact, the top 10 were just sensational. Young Jake Brown took a flying hole shot and rode really well, and eventually hung on to get a top 10 finish. His father Stuart Brown with Josh Chamberlain had to work hard for their 5th place, fighting through from a bad start, putting them in 9th place after lap 1. The same was true of Etienne Bax and Casper Stupelis, who were 1 place behind Brown at the start. They worked their way through the field to finish 4th and 2nd overall in the final result. Marvin van Leeuwen had to fight hard as well to get with the leaders. Once there, he was keen to make it through, and he and Giraud had a terrific scrap. He then had a coming together with Arno Dierkens, resulting in an injury to Robbie Bax, needing medical treatment. This put Van Leeuwen as 2nd, as Giraud retired in the dying moments of the race from potentially an overall winning position. This must have been heartbreaking for the Frenchman. Kern Hermans, though, was in control and on his way to GP victory. Bax was 4th and 2nd overall, with Van Leeuwen on the podium in 3rd. That was enough to put him level on points with the reigning champion going into round 3. Stay with us here on FIMSidecarcross.com for all the news as it happens, and make sure you catch the highlight show later in the week.